Not evil here, villains over there. Are orcs racist? Well, let's talk about it. Well, one thing for certain, I've been a long-term Lord of the Rings fan for about a little under 18 years. I remember buying the first DVD in around 2005 when it was new. I remember seeing all the commercials for the Lord of the Rings hits DVD, the Lord of the Rings hits DVD. And I didn't really understand or know much about the series other than its name rhymed with Lion King. That is literally my entire reason for originally getting into the series. Lord of the Rings, Lion King, they rhyme, they must be an animated sequel of The Lion King. That was my 5-year-old logic, and that's what we decided to go with. So I remember getting it, and at first I was really confused of, one, where's the animated, like why is this not animated at all? And after I got over that fact, I very much fell in love with the entire series. I very much fell in love with everything. Like Pippin, Hodo, just the whole shebang was just something I genuinely fell in love with. I liked the music, I liked the characters. This was just like, man, I almost can't believe this isn't a cartoon. And I used to watch these movies religiously. Like, religiously would almost be an understatement. Almost every other single day, I watched these movies well into about this DVD ran out. From about 2002 to well about 2006. Almost every single day, I was playing Lord of the Rings or The Lion King. Two of my favorite movies still to this day. And I remember just one Saturday night, because I was a lazy kid and I just had my stuff everywhere, that I stepped on my Lord of the Rings DVD box. Like, just a little plastic one, not like a whole box set. And I broke the disc. It genuinely was heartbreaking for me. Because when I say I loved these movies, I loved these movies. I was probably one of the biggest Lord of the Rings buff at the time in Georgia. And I went to my dad asking him, hey, would you please give me a new copy of Lord of the Rings? And I was petrified. Not because I was scared of my dad or anything, because I always knew that he was busy and I didn't like asking for stuff because I was kind of a shy kid. And I didn't have, I think it was like $22 at the time for a new copy. I'm paraphrasing and I don't quite remember because it's been a very long time. But as a kid, I couldn't afford it because it sounded entirely too expensive. So I went to my dad and asked for it. And I just remember being genuinely scared, but I really, really wanted this DVD back. Because it was my favorite. Every other time that he came to pick me up for the weekend, I was watching Lord of the Rings. When he brought me back, first thing I do is put on Lord of the Rings. I was all about Lord of the Rings. I wanted to play Lord of the Rings with my friends. We all wanted to have wooden swords and fight monsters. I loved that as a kid. And my dad took notice. And you know what this mad lad does for me? He buys me the entire Lord of the Rings box set. I was completely over the moon at this time of giving me all the movies in one night's little package. And I just remember coming back up to my dad after he gave it to me, giving him a hug with tears in my eyes, telling him thank you so much. It was a genuine emotional time for me of getting just my favorite movie, just everything. With all the deleted scenes, the actor interviews, just everything, all in just one neat little package. It was one of the few times that I genuinely cried to my dad. And you know what? I couldn't have been happier. The only time I was that happy was during a PTA meeting where I was getting in trouble about not showing my work on my test papers. I was still getting perfect scores, like 95s on pretty much all of my math tests. And the only reason I was losing 5 points is simply because I wasn't showing my work or doing the work the way my teachers wanted me to do it. And I got in trouble for it. Then my dad came down. He thought he had to discipline his son because he was doing badly in math classes and everything. After I promised him that, hey, I'm gonna get good grades for you. I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna do anything you need me to do to make sure that you don't regret getting me this DVD, because I love this DVD. So he came down, he was just ready to unleash some fire and brimstone, only to find out, oh, he does great in class. He's a joy to be. He just doesn't show his work, and can you get him to do that for me? Thanks. I've never seen my father do a complete 180 so hard, of just about to rip my head off to like, you know what, son? Let me go take you on down to the store. And he bought me a Nintendo DS and Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. Both brand new. And at the time, I literally was never happier as a kid. I just got everything I wanted. I got Lord of the Rings, I got Dragon Quest. It's all about, all this awesomeness. And guess what? That was my entire childhood, and I couldn't be so happy. And ever since then, I love my father, did anything that he asked of me. And that was pretty much my childhood. So the fact that you're kind of coming after Lord of the Rings and the potato monsters, I used to call them. Because I noticed, like, as I watched the movies, that they will pull them out of the ground, rip some film off of them, and put some metal helmets on them. And like the whole, face hand thing. So that's what I always assumed Orcs were. Potato monsters. Pull it from the ground, rip some film off of them, put them in a metal helmet. Potato monsters. And the fact that you guys are trying to make an allegory for black people by saying that black people are the same as these fantasy potato monsters, that pisses me off. I've been a long-term fan of this entire series, and I've never once saw any racial connotation, any racial coding, or any of that other type of garbage you guys are saying right now. All that's doing is pissing me off. So, in short, no, orcs are not racist in the slightest. And if you think they are, I got a little news for you. You're actually the racist.